So the first method that we're going to cover is coupon arbitrage. Now, what is coupon arbitrage and how does it work, right? So basically what you're going to do is you're going to go to a coupon website where you're going to get discounted Amazon products. And basically what happens here is an Amazon seller is going to list their products on these coupon websites. And you might be thinking, why are they going to list their products there? What's the point of listing their products at a massive discount, right? Well, they get a sale, which obviously you're going to buy, right? So they get the sale on Amazon, which helps rank their Amazon product. And they obviously also hope to get a review from you, but that's not required. I rarely ever give a review on a coupon product unless I'm like blown away by it or it's something really, really cool, right? And so what you'll do is, for example, let's say an Amazon seller has a product that sells for $20 on Amazon, and these numbers change. Sometimes it's $15, sometimes it's 20, sometimes it's 40, sometimes I've seen ones up to like 60, but usually it's anywhere between like 15 and like $40. And they're usually discounted pretty heavily. You'll get anywhere from like 75% off all the way up to like 95% off usually. And every once in a while, I'll see like a 99% off that's really, really cheap, right? So for example, an Amazon seller lists their product for $20 that retails on Amazon. They list it on a coupon website for $1, right? With a coupon code that gives you $19 off. So what you do is then you go to Amazon, you purchase that $20 product with a coupon code, you buy it for $1 to your house. Now you have a $20 product that only cost you $1 to source. And what you do is you sell it on marketplaces at retail value or a little bit over. And those retail marketplaces are eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, Facebook Marketplace, as well as some others. Now I've covered a number of other websites that you can also list these on. OfferUp comes to mind. And there's a number of other places as well if you want to check them out. I will be sure to link at the bottom of the description the top 20 marketplaces that I recommend that you list products online if you want to sell them, okay? So some pros and cons of coupon arbitrage. And remember, guys, this is just kind of like a broad overview of kind of like a, what's the word? Like a bird's eye view of all of these, right? To give you kind of an idea of how you can make money reselling products online right from your home. If you want an in-depth, look at any of these, you can check out Resale University. Resale University is my 30-hour course that will take anybody from beginner all the way to advanced, or even if you're already intermediate or advanced, it will give you a number of other strategies and software that will help you scale your reselling business. And if you want to learn basically with a quick 10-minute video of how Resale University can help you make money reselling products online and take you from, side hobby and side hustle all the way to full-time income selling products from the comfort of your own home, there's a link down in the description. It should say how Resale University can help you. You could check it out there. So some pros of coupon arbitrage are that you don't need much money to start at all, obviously, because products can be as cheap, like I just showed you, as a few cents or a few dollars, right? It's relatively low risk because you're not spending a lot of money on these products initially. And obviously it's great for beginners because of that, okay? And also it can help you slowly build up a bit of money to invest into a more scalable business, which is why I usually recommend this and a number of other things like this for beginners, okay? Now, the cons of it obviously are that it's not very scalable, okay? So you're probably looking at like a max of like a few $100s a month profit because obviously you need to know all the coupon websites and you need to be able to go there and manually source them and look for deals every single day and be on them at certain periods of time, right? So it's not as scalable as some of the other business models. Now, one that's very, very similar is cashback arbitrage. So cashback arbitrage, again, very similar, okay? So same thing here, a seller gets a full price sale. That's why they want to list these on the cashback website. That helps rank their Amazon product even more than a discounted sale. And they also, again, hope to get a review from you, which is required on some cashback sites, but not required on others. So it really just depends on the specific cashback site that you want. If you want a specific list of the top, I believe 70, it might even be more than that now, of sites that I use, you'll get coupon sites, you'll get cashback sites, you'll get other sites that we're about to cover here in a second. And like kind of like a cheat sheet, you can grab my free cheat sheet of my 70 site lists that I use down in the description as well. It should be listed as like free cheat sheet, okay? So in this example, a cashback seller lists their $20 product on a cashback website, right? So instead of getting a coupon code, you actually go to that website and you purchase it at full retail value for $20, right? And then what happens is you let the cashback seller know via the website, or if it's like on a Facebook group, but obviously I always pretty much use websites. You can use some Facebook groups as well if you want to. And then you let them know your order number and they check into it and then they send you the money back via PayPal, okay? So for example, in this aspect, a lot of times it's going to be 100%. I really only go after 100% deals. So like you will see like 90% or 95%, and you can use your own judgment if you want to go after those deals as well. Although you can pretty much get not unlimited, but a lot of cashback products that are 100% off. Okay. So in this example, you'd go to a cashback website, you buy a $20 product, and then the seller would send you $20 via PayPal. They win because they get a ranked sale, so a full price sale on Amazon. They potentially get a review from you depending on the website, and then you win because you have a free $20 product now because you got the $20 cash back from them. And if you're even using for example, which we're going to cover here in a second, if you're using a cashback credit card, you're going to be making even more money on your cashback because you have to spend money on these products anyway, right? So that's another little caveat that you can also use, right? So for example, you are now right here, have a $20 product that you got for free. And that's just one example of a cashback product. You can do this dozens or hundreds of times if you want to, even more. And then same thing, you're going to sell that product on marketplaces like eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, Facebook, as well as others at full retail value, or even list it a little higher and be patient, right? So you now have a free product which you can then sell for a profit, and that's only an example of one. Now, some of the pros and cons of cashback arbitrage, well, some of the pros are that you don't need much money to start at all. It's very, very similar to coupon arbitrage because products, again, can be as cheap as a few cents to a few dollars, and they can even be free after the cashback, obviously, right? Because like with coupon arbitrage, you only need to spend like $1 or $2 potentially, and sometimes even less, to buy the product outright. You're going to need the money to spend initially, but you will get that money back. Depending on the website, it can be a couple days. It can be very, very quickly. I just did one today that I think I got back in like 2 hours. So that's an example of one that you get back very, very fast. It's going to depend seller to seller. It's going to depend site to site. Some sites can last as long as like, I believe 30 days. But for the majority of sites that you're going to use and that you'll see on the cheat sheet as well, they're going to be relatively quick. Okay. Now, again, this one's also very low risk, and it's also great for beginners. And you can get extra free money, like I just touched on previously, by using a cashback credit card to charge all your purchases because, hey, you're spending money anyway, so why wouldn't you? Okay, that's another way that you can pretty much get extra free money. So, for example, if you have a cashback credit card that pays you 5%, which are the ones that I recommend, and you're spending, $100, well, then you're going to get $5 back, right? Now, if you're spending $1,000 a month on that, well, that's very, very within the realm of possibility, and you might even be spending more, then that's a free $50 at the end of the month just for using a cashback credit card, right? So that's another easy way to make more profit that for, purchases that you're already making, right? And again, just like coupon, this is one that I recommend along with coupon to a lot of beginners. It can help you slowly build up a little bit of money to invest into a more scalable business, okay? Another con, obviously, just like coupon is that, or I guess the only con, not another con, but the con, just like coupon, is that it's not very scalable, right? And for this, you're probably looking at a little bit more profit, but not as much as some of the other ones, obviously. So a little bit more than coupon. You're probably looking at a max of like a few $100s to maybe $1,000 profit a month if you really scale it up. But at that point, you're going to be spending a couple thousand, getting a couple thousand back cashback wise, right? So you're going to need at least credit to do it on a card. Or you're going to need that cash to spend, which you can obviously afford to wait to get back. And then once you do that, you're going to have a bunch of products to list and you're going to make good money, okay? So that's the cashback arbitrage business model and form of reselling. Now, we're going to get into some more scalable ones here. Those are two of the more beginner-friendly ones. So we're slowly getting to like the intermediate ones, and then we'll finish off with like some of the more scalable ones. So liquidation arbitrage now. Here's the outline of liquidation arbitrage. Well, you're going to go to a liquidation company and their website and sign up. Now, you do need a reseller's permit. That's something we're going to talk about on the next page. You do need a reseller's permit to actually buy from liquidation companies. Same thing as, wholesale companies. And if this interests you, then I will link at the very bottom of the description as well an entire video that I did that outlines how to sign up and get a reseller's permit. It's actually very, very simple. Doesn't cost you anything. You can do it from anywhere, obviously. And that video outlines the simple process. I think it's a 4 or 5 step process. It's very, very simple. Okay. It involves going to irs.gov, and then it involves going to your website, and then obviously applying to the liquidation companies and some other minor steps in between. Okay. Now, For example, you can also source liquidation to sell on Amazon before we get into this with software, a little bit like wholesale, but that's kind of a different way to approach liquidation. And that's also something that I teach and that we cover in Resale University. But for just the sake of keeping things simple, I'll just outline the liquidation to the same marketplaces that you sell on cashback and coupon with as well, okay? So a liquidation company is great and liquidation sites are great because you can get top branded items, but obviously you have to purchase them in bulk, okay? So this could be like overstock, it could be shelf pulls that companies couldn't sell. It could even be inventory, for example, that from companies that went out of business. You'll see that a lot on Amazon. Like, for example, if like Amazon, an Amazon seller gets like suspended, for example, right? And then like Amazon has all their inventory and they don't get their account unsuspended in time, Amazon will sell off all that brand new inventory for like pennies on the dollar just to kind of get rid of it because it's not their inventory and you can benefit from that. Okay, now that's just one example. There's a number of liquidation companies. I think there's a bunch on the cheat sheet. Like I said, always linked free in the description. And we cover a bunch obviously on this channel and in my course. But one of my favorites is 888 Lots. That's a great one as well. And you can buy top branded products super, super cheap for pennies on the dollar, right? But obviously the issue is that you have to buy them in bulk. So you buy from a liquidation company, you get those products to your house in this example, and then you sell all those products on marketplaces at retail value for a profit, okay? Because you're getting them super cheap. And those, again, are eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, Facebook Marketplace, and a number of others. Now, some of the pros here with liquidation arbitrage are that it's more scalable, right? So it's a more scalable way to buy inventory at a cheap price to sell on those same marketplaces that we've been covering where you do the fulfillment, right? And you can get great items and great brands for pennies on the dollar that already have high demand, right? So you don't have to manufacture the demand and you don't have to go out there and promote them or anything like that. People are already searching for these brands a lot of times and they already kind of sell automatically. Now, some of them might sell right away. Some of them might sell within a week or two. Some of them might sell in a couple weeks and some of them might sell in a couple months, but that's the liquidation arbitrage game, right? More inventory equals more sales, which equals more profit. And obviously you're getting these super cheap anyway. So that's the benefit of it, okay? And you can buy lots of items in bulk at super, super low prices, which obviously you can sell much higher and make a lot of money on if you're willing to list them and be patient. That's kind of its own business model in a nutshell, but you just have to know that you're going out there, you're sourcing top brands super cheap, listing them on all those places and being patient. If you can do that, it's a big if because a lot of people can't stay patient. You will make good money on these, okay? Now, some of the costs, also forgot this. Imagine, obviously, if you could buy top branded items for $1 per item, because obviously you can, it's pretty common, and there's a lot of profit potential there. So you can, kind of spitball brands in your mind, but a lot of top brands you can get on these liquidation sites and if you know the right places to source, and obviously there's high demand for those brands, okay? Now, some of the cons here are you need a reseller's permit, but again, I linked that video at the bottom of the description for you. It's not hard to get at all. And you also need to generally spend some money and be patient to recoup a large profit, right? So some pallets are going to be cheap. I've bought pallets for like $30 before, which is very, very cheap. That's like one of the cheapest liquidation pallets that you'll see. But obviously, the majority of the times you'll be looking at like $100 minimum, and usually it'll be like a couple $100. And honestly, you can scale it all the way up to like pallets full of like thousands of products or hundreds of top branded products for like multiple thousands of dollars. Now, the majority of the ones that I deal with and I buy and the ones that I teach my students to buy, generally speaking, are usually about $100 to a few $100. And there's still great profit potential with those with relatively low risk. But obviously with this example, you're spending more than the cashback and the coupon arbitrage. So just wanted to outline that difference for you. So the next one is retail website arbitrage and deal website arbitrage, which is kind of the same thing. I put them in like the same category, although they're slightly different. So I'll outline them both here for you, okay? Now with retail website arbitrage, you're going to a retail website. It's very simple. You're using software, and I recommend Source Mogul, but you can use Tactical Arbitrage. There's a few other softwares out there. I personally like Source Mogul. I've been playing around with Tactical Arbitrage and giving it another chance, recently. I haven't delved too deep into it because I've been creating content for Resale University, but I plan to give Tactical Arbitrage another chance. If it wows me, maybe I'll create some tutorials. If not, I already know Source Mogul works very, very well, so I highly recommend that. So what you're going to do is you're going to use software to scan these retail websites to compare prices on their specific sites. Obviously, here we're using Walmart, but there's thousands of retail sites, right? And you're going to compare prices on those sites with the software. The software will do all of this for you. And then it's going to compare the prices on those sites to the prices on Amazon for those products, okay? And then you're buying that item to sell on Amazon already knowing it's profitable, okay? So this is a great business model for beginners, especially like online arbitrage wise. And it's very, very easy to start and kind of learn. So you're going to, again, source the retail sites with software, buy those products to your house, and then either list them on Amazon and merchant fulfill them, or do what I do and what I recommend doing is ship them into Amazon FBA to sell for a profit. And again, the software is going to do all this work for you, and you're already pretty much going to know that they're profitable because it's going to compare the prices from Amazon to the retail websites, and you're going to know that before you buy it, okay? Now with deal websites, deal websites are very, very similar, but you don't have to do any sourcing. You're not going to be using any software. So what a deal website is it's a website that houses all these deals for you already. So there's a number of these. I probably know a few dozen of them, and they're really, really great, especially for beginners, because you don't need to spend money on software. You can just go look at these deal websites, and they're going to say like, hey, this product on Walmart, for example, or let's use a different one. This product on Target, for example, usually sells on Amazon for $50, but you can get it with this coupon code and this limited time sale for $20, right? And then obviously you can decide for yourself if that's something that's profitable by using specific, FBA calculators or, a number of other things, and basically deciding ahead of time if you want to buy that and if it's profitable, okay? So with deal websites, they're housing all those deals and literally outlining them for you, and that's great because it's super easy and beginner friendly, but obviously anybody else that knows that deal website has access to that and can be your competition on the actual marketplace when you sell that, okay? So keep that in mind as well. Now with these, you're manually looking at the deal website that obviously already lists all the best deals from retail websites currently, and you're comparing those deals and those prices to Amazon prices and seeing if you can buy those items using those deals specifically or those coupon codes specifically, and then selling them on Amazon for profit, okay? So sourcing deal websites manually, ordering them to your house, and then selling them on Amazon and shipping them into FBA or merchant fulfilling them if you want. Now, some of the pros and cons of these, and that's not supposed to say liquidation, that's supposed to say retail website arbitrage. So some of the pros and cons of retail website arbitrage is you don't need to go out and to retail stores and spend hours scanning, right? I see a lot of people teaching this online, and hey, if you enjoy that, more power to you. You can totally do that. I know some people like genuinely like kind of the rush of finding items like physically and going out to the stores and doing that. And like, if that's you, that's totally fine. I, purposely don't do that. I enjoy sourcing from the comfort of my own home on my laptop with software or these deal websites specifically. So that's generally what I recommend to most people because it's going to save you a lot of time and you don't actually have to physically go out to the stores and spend hours scanning. Okay, some people like that. I'm assuming the majority of you watching this, probably would prefer to sit at your own house. So that's why I'm introducing this to you, okay? And it's obviously somewhat scalable. It's more scalable than something like a cashback or a coupon, and even a little bit more scalable than liquidation in a lot of ways, assuming that you're using software, obviously, or assuming you have a lot of deal sites to look through. And you can obviously sell these on Amazon, assuming that you're not gated for that brand or that category. And it's really the most beginner-friendly way to start selling products and start making money on Amazon. Now, some of the cons here is that you need to spend money to make money, right? This is one of those examples where you're probably going to need to spend money on a product or, a number of products to make money back. It's an ROI business. And there's really no one size fits all answer here. Like, do you need a couple $100? Do you need a couple thousand? Generally speaking, you can probably get away with this and start scaling slowly with, $100 or a couple $100. But the more that you have, obviously, the more you can spend. And then the more you can spend, the more you can make back if you're making good purchases, because it's a return on your investment business, okay? So that is a con of it. If you're more on the beginner side and you don't have any money to spend, then you want to start with one of the less scalable business models, right? But if you do have some money to spend, maybe a few $100s, then this is perfect for you. And then you can take that few $100s and build it up to like $1,000 or $2,000, and then invest that into something that's more scalable, like we're going to talk about here in a second, okay? So this is certainly scalable, but it's not nearly as scalable as some forms of selling on Amazon like we're about to get into. Now, one more form of reselling that you can get into before we get into the two most scalable forms here is dropship arbitrage on Poshmark, okay? Now, I'm not a huge fan of drop shipping, and you're not really allowed to list on any other sites. That's why I say specifically Poshmark. If you do this on Amazon, eventually they're going to catch you. Most of the time, there is some loopholes there, but most of the time they're going to catch you. If you do this on Amazon or on eBay, they're going to suspend you. If you do this on Mercari, again, they're going to suspend you. So Poshmark works well because it's kind of in that gray area where you can get away with it within the terms of service if you do it correctly, and it's still very, very profitable. Okay. And you can also leverage certain software to get, eyes and traffic to your closet and your listings, which is, really a benefit of Poshmark that some of the other ones don't have. Okay. So in this example, you're going to list products from sites like Amazon or Walmart or a number of others that have fast shipping. So you need fast shipping. You need guaranteed fast shipping. So 1 to 2 day shipping. So you're not going out and listing products from something that, you don't trust. It needs to be Amazon or Walmart, and it needs to have fast shipping. Now, you're going to list these specific items from these sites on Poshmark, okay? Not others. So you're listing these items ahead of time without even having them. So you don't need to spend any money before you're guaranteed a sale and a profit when obviously you get that sale on Poshmark. So that's really a great benefit of this. And obviously you're going to list these and then you're going to order them to your house. So you're going to list them first. And then once you get a sale on Poshmark, then you're going to order that product to your house. And then you're going to receive the item, put it in a new package, which obviously you can get free USPS packages at USPS.com, especially for Poshmark, and then print out the Poshmark label and drop it off at the post office to ship it out. It's very, very easy. Now, some of the pros and some of the cons here are that you can make money for free, right? If you don't believe me, literally try it. Go list some things. And if I have I'll try to drop a tutorial of this. I've done, I think, 2 or 3 tutorials now. So if I remember, I'll try to drop a tutorial of the Poshmark dropship arbitrage at the very bottom of the description if you want to watch it. But I'm telling you, if you don't have any money, this is a great way to start. Now, you do need to kind of use software a little bit, and you do need to list a bunch of items to see what works. But you can make decent money doing this without any money, okay? I've done it. I've still tested it, and I put it back into my Resale University course because I tested it and saw that it literally does still work very well, okay? And you can list hundreds and hundreds of items from sites like Amazon and get access to their entire catalog of products to sell without needing to store any inventory and without needing to buy it ahead of time, okay? Which is a great benefit for beginners, okay? And you can ensure a profit of an item before you ever need to spend any money to buy it, okay? Some of the cons of this, though, are it can be a headache to manage if you're not organized or if you're very scaled, okay? And it can also be tough to really, really scale this unless you're solely focused on this form alone and you have it scaled. If you try to combine this with other things, I'm telling you, it's just going to make you scatterbrained. I know because I've done it. So yeah, you can do it, but it's a headache and I don't recommend it. Either do this to build up some money or do this as like a side hustle if you like it, or do something else, right? You don't want to scale this up and then also scale another form up, but this does work very, very well if you want to do this, okay? And you can't combine this like I just touched on with cashback or coupon especially, but any others really, or I guarantee you will confuse products from one business model to another because you're going to be ordering cashback products from Amazon, you're going to be ordering coupon products from Amazon, and if you're already using Amazon, which in my opinion is the best one for this dropship arbitrage, then you're going to mix some of those products up and it's just going to be a headache. So don't do that, okay? Also, another con is that prices can fluctuate on Amazon and items can go out of stock occasionally, which means you have to occasionally run into issues and needing to cancel orders, okay? But the best solution that I found, and remember, I've literally tested this, so I'm not just saying like what you could do. This is what I've done. The best solution to this that you can pretty much get away with is only list items that have a lot of ratings and are already high ranked on Amazon, okay? Because this makes sure that their price is pretty stable and it rarely changes. And it also makes sure that the item will most likely never go out of stock because that seller's main job is literally to keep it in stock because it makes them money, okay? So that's pros and cons of dropship arbitrage. If you want to see like a tutorial, I'll drop that at the bottom of the description, okay? Now, the 2 main forms, my personal favorites, the 2 main scalable forms of reselling is what we're going to get into here. And these are the ones that I generally do the most of because I'm on, the more scalable side of things. But if you're not on the more scalable side of the things, then start with the beginner ones. If you are, then these 2 are perfect for you. So book flipping on Amazon is one of my favorites. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to use software to scan book websites and compare prices on their sites with prices on Amazon. Again, the software does it all for you. And then you're buying that book to sell on Amazon already knowing it's profitable because you've already used the software to compare the prices, okay? So books on websites like eBay, for example, and there's a number of other book sites out there that the softwares will source. I use eFlip and I also use Zen Arbitrage. You can go to the book flipping playlist. I think it's called book reselling playlist on this channel. If you're interested in watching tutorials on that, there's a number of them. But what you're going to do is you're going to use software, and you're going to buy those books at a cheaper price and then to your house and then ship them into Amazon to sell for a profit. Or if you want to merchant fulfill them, which is FBM, you can also do that, okay? Now, some of the, a lot of talking. Some of the pros of book arbitrage is that it's ridiculously high profit margins and ROIs, okay? It's also less inventory, which I absolutely love. It's less inventory to deal with because books are easy to deal with, number one. They're easy to ship, and you can make more money with one book in a lot of cases than you can with multiple normal items. For example, like you can potentially have a book that's like $100 profit, and it might take you like 7 to 10 other items to get that, and like doing online arbitrage with software on sites like Walmart, right? So in a lot of ways, it can be dealing with less inventory, which I absolutely love. It's also super scalable because there's lots of profitable books that you can buy. And you can also use software and source from anywhere in the world, which saves you an exorbitant amount of time and is very, very easy, okay? Some of the pros of the cons, I mix pros and cons. Some of the cons of this is that you need to spend a lot of money, probably at least a few $100s to start this, and it's probably even more closer to $1,000 because, again, it's a return on your investment business, okay? You also sometimes need to wait and be patient for a book to sell at a higher price point so that you can make a good ROI. If the book, if the bestseller rank tanks on Amazon, or if, for example, you have a bunch of sellers that hop on the listing, sometimes you're going to need to be patient and maintain your price and be patient, or you won't make the money, okay? That doesn't happen often, but every once in a while it does, so that can be a con of it, okay? And finally, it can tie up a lot of your cash flow if you're not ready to actually scale and spend money, because you can have a bunch of your cash tied up in inventory, and then if it doesn't sell, you're going to have to wait for it to sell before you can buy it more, okay? So that's a con of book arbitrage that a lot of people kind of run into. Now, the last form of selling from home, it's very, very scalable, and my favorite, and probably the most scalable in my opinion, is wholesale, okay? So with this, again, you're using software to scan product lists from wholesale companies to compare prices on their sites with prices on Amazon. And then you're going to buy those items from them to sell on Amazon, already knowing they're profitable. Now, with wholesale, just like liquidation, you also need a reseller's permit. So again, if this interests you and you want to go ahead and do this, you're going to need that permit. Go watch the video linked at the bottom of the description, okay? Now, this is one of the most scalable ones, and you can pretty much deal with wholesale companies and Amazon all from the comfort of your own house without ever having to handle any products. You're just using your computer to source and then using your computer to manage those products, okay? So you're going to order from wholesale companies products that you know, because you're using the software, are profitable, to your house sometimes. I don't recommend people do this, but if you're new and you kind of want to learn the business model, then you can do this. Or if you're ordering from a new company that you want to build trust with and kind of test a product to see if you want to order a lot of it, then this might be a good idea because you want to inspect the products, right? So you can order from the wholesale companies to your house and then ship them into Amazon, or you could do what I do, which is just order directly from the wholesale companies. A lot of them will ship directly into FBA. Some of them won't, but the majority of them will. So what I usually recommend is don't touch the products, just use the wholesale company and have them ship it into FBA for you, okay? Now, some of the pros of this is obviously it's the most scalable way to sell on Amazon. So you're not really going to run out of any products because there's so many wholesale suppliers out there. I think there's, I want to say over 10,500 in my course now with a vetted, literally a vetted, organized list, and that is invaluable, okay? So it's the most scalable way to sell on Amazon. You're also dealing with top brand products. You don't ever need to touch any inventory yourself, like I just said, because you can have most wholesale companies ship into Amazon FBA for you. You also can use invoices of 10 plus units of a specific item or brand to get ungated on Amazon. So it's a great way to get ungated while you're selling top branded products. And you can use software to source from anywhere in the world. Again, you can sell top brands, so generally items move quickly and your cash flow might be tied up for some time if you're really, really scaled, but you can always typically liquidate your inventory if you need to, because you're generally dealing with in-demand products and in-demand brands. So if you drop your price a little bit, typically speaking, you can always sell off that inventory relatively quickly, okay? So those are the pros of wholesale. Some of the cons are that you need to spend a lot of money. probably 1,000 at the very bare minimum to start this. And realistically, you probably need a few thousand. That's probably ideal because, again, it's an ROI business and you need to scale, okay? And sometimes you need to wait and be patient on a listing if a lot of top sellers hop onto it, and you want to make sure that you make money on products. It's very similar to books in that aspect, okay? And another con that also potentially could be looked at as a good thing is that you're dealing with and competing against more experienced sellers when you're dealing wholesale, okay? But again, this could be looked at as a good thing because a lot of times with new sellers, they drop the buy box price in order to or they drop the price in order to win the buy box on Amazon, not realizing that it will then become a race to the bottom pricing because most people have, repricing software. A lot of, not every, but a lot of competitive and more experienced sellers won't, kind of entertain that race to the bottom. So you're not really going to see that as much with wholesale in my experience, okay? But obviously you're going to need a repricer and the ability to automatically match prices to stay competitive for sales and for that buy box, okay? One of the major cons of this is obviously because it's so scalable and you're spending so much money, it can tie up a lot of your cash flow if you're not ready to actually scale and spend money, a lot like books. And obviously you're going to have some of your money tied up in inventory for a little bit, so you have to be prepared for that, okay? So that's pretty much the benefits and the drawbacks of all of these specific business models. I really hope you like the outline of the top 7, in my opinion, forms and ways that you can sell products online to make money from the comfort of your own home. If you appreciate the value in this video, please give it a like. It actually goes a long way to help this channel grow and this video kind of get eyes on it. And if you guys are interested in learning a little bit more in depth about every single one of, or any one of these in particular business models, you can go and check out Resale University. There's a short 10-minute video linked in the description that will teach you a little bit about how Resale University can help you specifically. It will also give you a quick demo of the course in the back end of it, as well as give you some examples of students like you that it's also helped teach reselling and their results. So really hope you guys like this video, and I'll see you in the next one.